Hi Sagittarius, how are we today? Just doing our weekly readings. This week we are looking at relationships, not actually love relationships. Today we're looking at your relationships with your friends and family, as well as work and career relationships. I will also grab some cards for your energy as well. But please subscribe to the channel if you're not already. I do really appreciate that support. Every single like and comment, it really does help the channel grow, so thank you. This week I am using all lenormand, so we are starting with the Tanis lenormand, where we're looking at your friend and family relationships. We have the green glyphs lenormand to look at work and career relationships. And then when we look at your own energy here, anything important you might need to know, your relationship with yourself, of course, we do have the paper oracle lenormand as well. So getting into it for you, Sagittarius, I will just apologize in advance for any sniffling or coughing. I have a lot of sinus issues, and heading into winter here in Australia, it is probably going to be an ongoing thing. So I am sorry for any of that. But having a look here, starting off with your relationships with friends and family. Sagittarius, your relationships with friends and family. What does Sagittarius need to know about their relationships with friends and family? Something coming to the surface for you at the moment within your friends and family groupings. Just clarify why we're seeing that fourth card for Sagittarius. Okay. All right, so firstly, we are seeing the child and the tower. Okay, so that pretty much straight away tells me, because the child, pretty obvious, right? But then the tower is quite a lot of the time it's about the way that the foundations have been laid. The way that we've set foundations in our childhood. Okay, so for you, this is definitely something from your childhood. I feel like it's kind of it's not so much something that's happened in your childhood. It's more along the lines of the way that you were raised, or the way that the foundations have been laid within you yourself. I am also seeing here, because I've got two of the main cards that would signify a potential pregnancy as well. So there may actually be somebody around you within your friends or family group that is pregnant at the moment, or about to fall pregnant as well. So just keep that in the back of your mind as well. But this is all about, the foundations, that it's just I don't know what exactly it is. It's not really wanting to tell me exactly what it is, but for a lot of you, it may have to do with your sense of, how you approach new beginnings in your life, and, how you look at the world with, like protecting your inner child. Is coming through here. We do have the stork coming through, so that stirs up things within you. It stirs up these ideas within you. So for a lot of you, it feels like you're just sort of now only just sort of realizing, you're just coming into contact with this idea that this certain way you were raised, or something that's happened, when you were young, the way that your family dynamic was, that it's stirring up something within you now, and you're only just sort of, coming up with the idea of, oh, maybe that's actually, affected this thing now as an adult, affected the way that I deal with my inner child, affected the way that I, look out at the world, the way that I, approach new beginnings in my life. We do have the fox energy here as well. So for a lot of you, it's got to do with the way that you show independence, the way that you look out for yourself, the way that you come across to people, because I am picking up here that for some of you, there may be like an example of manipulation in, a foundation that was laid that has shown you an example of manipulation being used. and you sort of now coming up with the idea of, do I do that? Do I use some sort of manipulation, like whether it be, guilt tripping, playing the victim, or, there's lots of different types of, emotional manipulation, or just manipulation in general. It's not necessarily like a bad thing, but I feel like it's just a lot of you kind of realizing that, I've always sort of gotten my way because I've done what needs to be done, and I've said what needs to be said, even if it's not the whole truth, the full truth, nothing but the truth. I do what needs, I say what needs to be said, so I get my way. It's that kind of energy. Not necessarily saying that that's you, Sagittarius, but I do feel as though it's the way that you approach your goals and the things that you desire, and the way that you always kind of, I do feel this energy of, you always make sure you get what you want one way or another. It is kind of what I'm hearing here. And for some of you, you're kind of looking back at your childhood and going, this is where that's coming from. This is, how I've been raised to do so, and this is how I've managed to, get my own way in the past. Is this something I still want to, do things this way now? Like, especially when it comes to things like, if you've been shown that, like, for example, just as an example, I'm not saying this is you at all, but like emotional blackmail. Okay. If you have been raised by somebody who uses emotional blackmail, that is an example to you your whole life of, if I use this emotional blackmail, I get things I want. Am I now using that to my own advantage? In a way that I'm not happy with. And it's kind of asking you to look at the past relationships, especially the foundational relationships. So your childhood relationships, the examples that were shown to you, the ideas that has carried forth into your adulthood here, and made you do things the certain way, act certain ways. Especially when it comes to getting your own way, having your own desires being met. Are you actually, doing this or saying this just to get your desires met? Or are you doing this out of, self-survival? Seems to be the question here. That fox energy is very clever and intelligent. So it's like, for some of you, you're using your intelligence to get what you want. And, you need to ask yourself, are you doing it in a negative way? Because I feel like for a lot of you, pardon, this is just stirring up this question. It's just coming through as a question to you of like, is this the example that you want? Do you want to raise your own children the same way that your parents raised you to do that kind of energy? So whatever that means for you. But ultimately, we do see it is in regard to you achieving your desires here. We have the stars here. So, it does let us know that this is all about, the independent fight for survival when it comes to having your true desires, having your dreams come true. Are you doing it 100% right for your heart and your soul space? Or are you falling back into patterns that have been created from the foundation? Okay, so it's just coming through as a question more than anything here, Sagittarius. So, I feel like this is something that you're needing to discuss with yourself. So rather than seeing any actual relationships coming through, we are seeing this question of looking back at how your relationships have been formed, and some of the foundations that have been laid that have made you the person that you are. And it's asking you to sort of start questioning those and look at those within yourself. All right, Sagittarius, what's going on for Sagittarius with work and career relationships? Work and career relationships for our Sagittarius, please. Something going on at work, is there, Sagittarius? Just feels like something's got you a bit emotional here. We have the moon energy coming through first, so it does feel like something or someone has mm, maybe tried to take advantage of your emotions, or something has been a little bit emotional around a person at work or within your career. There's just some sort of heightened emotions there. Someone maybe you're just very wary of allowing people to take advantage of your emotional sensitivities as well. We do have the bear coming through as well. So the bear energy really does talk about protecting yourself, and you standing up strong and protecting your own boundaries. You're standing very strong and powerful, protecting your emotions, and not allowing anyone to sort of get too close to you at the moment when it comes to work relationships. Um, the bear is a very nurturing, protective energy. So it feels as though you're trying to sort of nurture and protect yourself and nurture those boundaries that you need to place up. I feel like for some of you, I do feel as though something may have happened that has sort of made you, "Oh, I need to put up boundaries with these people." So, I don't know what exactly that is for you yourself, Sagittarius, but you're just in a very protective stance at the moment when it comes to work and career relationships. Feels like it's kind of giving me that energy of like, I just want to focus on the actual job. I just want to stand strong and tall and do my job. I'm here to work. I'm not here to, have my emotions played with at work. So we do see you standing very tall and strong here. We also have the cross. So you're kind of like, be it as it may, like this too shall pass. I'm kind of getting a few weird references there. But you're just relying on your spiritual integrity when it comes to the workplace relationships at the moment. You're just, having faith in yourself and having faith in, I'm doing a good job. I'm focusing on my job. I'm not too worried about how these relationships are going. I'm standing very strong on my own moral high point here. I feel for a lot of you. There may be something, someone may have tried to upset you, something to do with spirituality or religion beliefs, or there may just be a clash of traditional versus non-traditional beliefs in the workplace, and people are kind of just standing guard a little bit at the moment to try not to step on anyone's toes kind of energy. It feels like you've just got a lot of burdens as well. You're carrying a lot of burdens from the actual job, the actual work. So, relationships at the workplace are kind of the last thing on your mind. So you're just kind of a little bit defensive about spending time getting emotionally connected to people, because you're wanting to just sort of focus on the actual work aspect, I feel, for a lot of you here, Sagittarius. Interesting. But we'll have a look at your energy here as well. Any important messages for Sagittarius? Anything else that Sagittarius needs to be aware of? Any other important messages for our Sagittarius, please? Clarify that third card. Yeah, I'm just kind of seeing here, Sagittarius, that you just within yourself, we're seeing the fox energy all over again. Okay, so we're just focusing on this issue within yourself, and doing the work within yourself. That may have arisen from the foundation of the family, that kind of thing. You're focusing on just being independent and surviving, getting through today, getting through tomorrow. That seems to be the deal for you at the moment. Work as well, we do have the snake though, okay? So there is a lot of passion and ambition under the surface with you here. And there is, I feel like maybe that's why you're questioning yourself about, am I manipulating the situation in order to get my wishes met here? Because you're trying to not deceive yourself. about that, and you're trying to be very honest with yourself about that, and look at things very intelligently, and follow your true passions and your true desires without allowing yourself to be deceptive or manipulative in any kind of a way. We do also see the heart clarified by the wheel here as well. So, you're just trying to focus on yourself and trying to focus on, healing yourself, self-love, following your truth. Following your truth at the moment, it seems, Sagittarius, and everything is happening exactly how it's supposed to. The wheel keeps on spinning. That red thread of fate is working in your favor. For some of you, there is fated love coming through in the near future. So don't ignore that if you see that appear in your life. With the moon showing for you today, I would say that your intuition will probably show you that person as well. Your heart will kind of go boom, 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 and you won't be able to stop it. It'll just kind of happen. It feels like with the wheel, things just kind of happen. Things just kind of fall into place exactly how they're supposed to. It's like, fate takes control. Fate takes the wheel and says, do you know what? I want to take you on this direction, So, but a lot of passion and ambition, following your passion and ambition, looking out for yourself, number one, seems to be very important for you at the moment. Having strong boundaries with yourself as well as others. Okay, so we definitely are seeing that with that fox energy, being very clever and intelligent, and making sure that you're not doing anything that goes against your own personal morals. You're standing very strong in your own morals here, and you're wanting to make sure that you yourself are not crossing those boundaries. Pardon. So yeah, pretty straightforward for you today, Sagittarius, but you are more than welcome to check your other placements, of course. Leave me a comment. Let me know if that resonates for your personal situation, and hopefully I will see you all again soon.